Hello everyone, Jason Sheets of Main Street DBAs. Today I'm going to be showing you how to restore the master database and create a temporary SA account in case you don't know the SA password. SQL Server is installed on the new server, and now I'm ready to restore my databases. Before I can restore master, I need to set the -m startup flag for SQL Server. Launch SQL Server Configuration Manager and go to the SQL Server Services node. Double-click the SQL Server and go to Startup Parameters. We want to add -m, which will cause SQL Server to start in single user mode. Click OK, and we'll click OK again. Now we need to restart SQL Server. Right-click on the service and click Restart. SQL Server is now running in single user mode, and we can connect to restore the master database. We're now ready to restore the master database. First, launch a command shell using administrative privileges, and then execute the SQL command program. This is a standard restore statement with the replace option. It's not going to execute until I issue the go command. We can see that the master database was restored and SQL Server shut down. This is because it needs to reload the master database that we just restored. We've successfully restored master, which also restores our logins and instance level permissions, as well as a number of other items. Unfortunately, we've also realized that the SA password is not in the password vault. We're going to create a temporary SA account to gain access to the instance. The first thing we need to do is go back to SQL Server Configuration Manager and restart the SQL service since it shut down after we restored master. With the service running, let's return to our command shell and re-enter SQL command. This script is going to create a new login called temp.sa and add that login to the sysadmin role. It's not going to execute until I issue the go command. We are now ready to configure SQL Server to run in multi-user mode. To configure SQL Server to run in multi-user mode, we're going to do the opposite of our previous configuration. Go back to SQL Server Configuration Manager and double-click the service. Enter Startup Parameters. Find the -m flag and highlight it. Click Remove. Now click OK. OK again. Right-click the SQL service and click Restart. SQL Server is now running in multi-user mode, and we can connect using Management Studio and the temporary SA account we created. I'm now ready to connect using the temporary SA login. Using SQL Server authentication and the account that we created, I was able to connect to the database server. If I expand databases, you can see the databases are listed, but they are in recovery pending. That's because master knows about the databases, but the data files themselves are missing. We'll have to restore from backup to fix that. If we expand SQL Server Agent, we can also see that there are no jobs. That's because we have yet to restore the MSDB database. Before we can restore MSDB, we need to stop SQL Server Agent. To do that, go back to the Configuration Management tool, find the SQL Server Agent, right-click, and click Stop on Agent. With the service stopped, we're now ready to go back to Management Studio and restore the MSDB database. To restore MSDB, I'm going to close Management Studio to close any active connections to the MSDB database, and go back to our administrator command prompt. I'm going to run SQL command with the parameter -U TMP-SA and type in the temporary SA password. At this point, I'm going to execute a standard restore command with replace and execute go. MSDB has now been restored. To restore the MSDB database, I'm going to close Management Studio so any active connections to the database are closed. Then I'm going to launch SQL command in the administrator prompt using the -U TMP-SA parameter to tell it to use our SA account. Now I'm going to use a standard restore command with replace for MSDB and execute the go command. MSDB database and our jobs are now restored. Now that MSDB has been restored, we're ready to restart SQL Agent and restore our user databases. Return to SQL Server Configuration Manager, find your SQL Server Agent service, right-click and click Start. We're now ready to reconnect using Management Studio. I'm going to reconnect using the temp-SA account. Databases are still missing their data files, but if I expand our jobs, we're able to see that our jobs were restored when we restored MSDB. We're now finally ready to restore our user databases. These are standard restore statements, and I am using the with replace option. The restores have completed. I right-click on databases and click refresh and expand the tree. I can see that my databases are now online. Databases, logins, permissions, and jobs have now been recovered, and you are now ready to begin any additional instance level recovery. This completes this tutorial.